Hello everyone, it's Davide here and welcome back to Learning Finance. In today's video guys, I want to talk about Bionano Genomics, ticker symbol BNGO. Since Cathy Wood from ARK Invest just came out by saying that the genomics sector will be probably the next FANG, where basically huge returns will be made, the market went completely crazy about these kind of stocks. Okay, so during the last couple of months we have seen huge pops in different companies, which usually are very small cap companies, but then also obviously we have seen a huge increase in prices in major ones, like for example CRISP Therapeutics and stuff like that. Actually, if you take a look at the ARK Invest ETF in the genomic sector, has done very well over the last, basically since the recovery of the pandemic. Okay, so it is obviously a hot topic at the moment, and I have received many comments sometimes asking about what do I think about genomic stocks, am I investing, what am I doing. So in today's video I want to talk about this company, which is pretty famous between investors on the internet at the moment, and I will explain what is the bull case scenario of this company, so what is the market pricing and what do I think about it. Am I going to invest in this particular company or not? So we're gonna see all of that. The only thing I ask you guys as always is please leave me an early like, it's very important and I thank you for it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new updates. Let's begin. Alright, so Bionano Genomics, we have seen this company that basically it was trading at around 50 cents in December and just exploded completely by touching about $7.10 in just basically 15 days. Okay, now if you are a trader, short-term trader, and you got this move, well, my congratulations to you. Okay, it is probably one of the best trade of the 2021 that it will happen. Absolutely phenomenal. However, is BNGO today still a 10x opportunity? This is probably the main question, because we have seen that the market is around 1 billion, 1.2 in market cap, sitting around $5 per share. So if I buy today, will I get a 10x over the long term? So first of all, what is BNGO and what they are doing? Now, big disclaimer over there, and this is, as I'm going to explain you later on, one of the main risks. First of all, I have studied finance and banking. I have absolutely no idea about the genomics stuff. I have to be completely honest, I'm not a scientist. When I read those things, they are fascinating, because obviously they are. Even just the idea to improve and increase the overall medicine system, okay? So, because as of now, obviously, a lot of patients are treated at the same way, okay? Because you have standard drugs. This new idea with the genomics stuff is basically to target different people with different issues and to give them a specific solution, because not all the humans are the same in terms of DNA. This is obviously fascinating. Just even imagine that probably in 10 to 20 years, very bad illnesses are gonna be solved. It is a dream, okay? So in terms of the perspective, I love those things, okay? We cannot deny it. I think that everyone loves those things. However, what we have to do here is try to understand the things in terms of an investment perspective. So what we see, the market opportunity of them, this is from their SEC filing. They say that according to the research and markets, the worldwide market for genomics products and services is expected to reach approximately 23.9 billion by 2022. Now, their business is mainly based in two segments. The first one is the sequencing for discovery research. Basically, here is where at the beginning everyone was saying that Bionano is mainly just for research purposes, okay? But it is not only that, as we can see from here, the other point, cytogenetics, to provide a clinical diagnosis. Basically, also the diagnosis business, will be huge for them, okay, according to what they say. And we can confirm that when we see the acquisition that they made basically at the end of August, when they acquired Ligengene, which is Utah-based genetic diagnostic company for the support of market leadership in digital cytogenetics and comprehensive genetic diagnostics. And this acquisition was, in my opinion, in terms of technically, so financially, was well made. So with this acquisition, actually, we see that their business is not only the research stuff, but they are pushing a lot to the diagnostic business. When we read their market opportunity, we see that they say, we believe that the discovery research and cytogenetic segments together comprise an addressable opportunity for us to sell approximately 9,500 systems, representing a current total instrument market opportunity of approximately 2.1 billion. Importantly, we expect this market opportunity to expand at the rate of adoption of new RUO high sequencers, which we estimate is over 15% per year. While we do not expect the number of cytogenetics labs to increase significantly, we expect our growth in this market to be driven by conversion of traditional cytogenetics methodologies to our system, which basically their claim is that their Sapphire system is obviously better than the traditional ones. Okay, so we do things faster, better, at a cheaper price. So it is a huge innovation, as they say. Okay, so that's why they are expecting to sell all of those systems, not because the labs are going to increase substantially, but because they will substitute the old technology with this new one. In addition to the instrument sales opportunity, Sapphire instruments generate a recurring revenue from cheap consumables that are used on a per sample basis. We believe each Sapphire instrument has the potential to create recurring revenue in a range of approximately $60,000 to approximately $150,000 per year per unit, suggesting a potential annual recurring revenue opportunity of approximately 0.6 billion to 1.4. Therefore, we believe that our currently addressable portion of the genome analysis market is estimated to be between 2.7 billion and 3.5. So this is very important, and it is where I want to base my bull case scenario, okay, for the company. Now, before to see the bull case scenario, let's take a look at revenues and balance sheet to try to understand what's going on. First of all, obviously, as all the companies in the genetic sector, they lose money, and they lose a lot of money compared to what they make. We can see a clear shift from sales to services. Now, this is obvious. I have done some calculations, and I'm going to show you in the Excel just in a couple of seconds. That basically one of their units costs more than $200,000. And selling those things is not easy. We have seen many companies with the business plan to sell these huge units, okay, in terms of the price, but all of those businesses, they basically failed. Why? Because other businesses that they should buy those things, in reality they prefer to receive those things or in a lease or to pay them for this service. Okay, so not to buy the lump sum, but to pay for the services, because usually you have a huge amount of stuff in your balance sheet which are going to depreciate sometimes even fast. So businesses prefer a fixed cost or a cost per basis, okay, depending on the use that they make. So the shift here is pretty clear. We can see that in just 1 year, it basically went up almost 5 times the services, while from the sales went down 50%. So that's considerable. On the other side, this is kind of interesting because we see that the cost of revenue for the sales is obviously higher in terms of percentage than what is the cost of the services. Okay, so the margins will get better if they push a lot more through revenue than selling the actual things. Okay, now here it comes the main issue. Why is that? Because when we take a look at the balance sheet, when you have a firm which loses that incredible amount of money every single year, what you have to do, you have to raise more capital. And that's why Bionano has just basically sold more shares just recently, and they will continue to do it. When you have an unprofitable business, dilutions and this kind of stuff are pretty normal. And what I don't like much is to see goodwill and intangible assets quite high, okay? Because here we go through 8 million for a total of 41.3 million in total assets. Okay, so it is more basically than 20%. Okay, so 20% of total assets are stuff that are not accountable. You never know if they are real or not. You give a valuation to it, but it is not something very objective. However, overall, the total current assets and current liabilities was around 1.20, 1.18, the ratio. Now they have just recently increased more capital with new share issues, so they should be fine. Here we can see an issue with this company. Obviously, they were losing money, and that's pretty fine. What we have seen, however, with BNGO over the next couple of years is that EBITDA margin were negative, but then it has continued to go down. Okay, so they lose it even more, and then obviously, boom, the pandemic. So at the moment, we are in an EBITDA, a loss of almost 10 million, okay, for this quarter. So this is, you see this graph, negative trend. It is something that I don't like very much. I would like to see it going back up. However, as promised, let's try to do the bull case scenario, okay? Now, they say that their currently addressable portion, it is between that, okay, 2.7 billion, 3.5 billion, and they expect to sell approximately 9,500 Sapphires systems. So what I have done over there, I said instead of 9,500, let's put 7,000. Now this is the cost per unit that I have calculated, $221,000 per single unit of their technology. And they said also they expect between $60,000 to $150,000 per unit in revenues, okay, on a per sample basis. That's basically the total revenue that you have, 1.89, basically 1.9 billion. In which year are they gonna do it? They don't say specifically. Now, they lose money at the moment. Margins are just completely pathetic. However, what I've done here, I just went through a different sort of comparable. First of all, you look at the big pharma, and they have a net margin of around 13%, which is huge. Then you go through a more research and technology in terms of the chemistry industries, and they are around 7, 8. So here, to be conservative, I put 4%, okay, in net margin. Right now, the net margin is around minus 300. Okay, so to get it to 4%, it would be, in my opinion, a very good achievement for them. That will push the net income in this scenario to $75.8 million. When we take a look at PE ratio, I've said a forward PE ratio of around 45. That would give the market cap 3.4 billion. Considering that right now is around 1.1, 1.2, I think, that would be almost a 3x on the company. Now, let's try to be more as they say. So instead of the annual revenue over there, instead of just 50,000, let's put it, they say between 60 and 150. So we can put it to, let's say, 80. Considering that the diagnostic business will keep up strongly, okay? Also considering the acquisition that they made. The net margin, let's keep it the same, but at this point, probably the PE ratio would be a little bit higher. due to obviously higher growth, and we could have a market cap of around 4 billion if instead of 7,000 as they say you put 9,500. That's what you have, 5.5 near total market cap, okay, in this scenario. So investors are obviously pricing an extreme growth for these companies that if we see the bullish scenario over there, well, obviously the stock can 5x, okay, still. However, guys, here I have to say what I think about it. Everything looks great, the technology, the dream of solving these very bad illnesses, it looks fantastic. However, guys, here there is a big risk. The first one is pretty simple. I think that if I take 100 of you, probably just 2 actually really understand what this kind of genomics stuff is about. That's the first thing. I have absolutely no idea if what they say it is true, if their system is really innovative as they say, and I have no idea for how long can it last. You know that research changes every time. So for how long will their system be better than others? There are literally, I think, between 100 companies in the genomics sector. Okay, it is better than the others, okay, as they say. Even if I believe it, for how long will it be better than the others? So basically, wrapping up the thing, and when we see the bullish scenario that the market is pricing, it is brilliant. It really is. But do you want to invest in something that personally, okay, I talk to myself, do I want to invest to something that I have absolutely no idea of what I'm talking about? Yes or not? In my opinion, no. I will never put my money in something that I absolutely have no idea what it is. During those days, reading a lot about genomics, where can I put the things? Because obviously everyone was saying that, okay, it is a wonderful opportunity. Let me learn more about it. But as I read and I continue to read, I literally don't understand the things. And I don't like to put money in things that I have absolutely no idea what they are about. If you are a scientist, if you really have a deep knowledge on something, that's perfectly fine. When I invest long term, I like to put money in something that I understand, in something that I know perfectly, and something that I can understand where profitability will come, when it will come, how the market will react to that, the margins, what can the margins do. In this case, I have absolutely no idea. I don't even know if their system is really great as they say, okay? While, for example, if you want to invest in Apple, you just buy an iPhone and you see whether the product is good or not, and then you invest in the company. Or software, you just download the software and use it. But in this case, guys, the risk is I don't know what it is. And a lot of investors, they don't know what it is. So if you want to be exposed to the genomics sector, my opinion, it is probably better to not just put all your money in one single company, but to buy the top, let's say, to 5 to 10 companies in the sector, okay? Or you buy the ETF, however, do whatever you want. Am I investing in genomic stocks? No, I am not. I will continue to take a look at them, but at the moment I don't feel comfortable. Here you have my opinion, my personal opinion. So I hope you find the video interesting. Leave me a like and tell me your opinion. What's your opinion on genomics stocks? Okay, so subscribe to the channel, and as always, guys, have a wonderful day.